So we elected to have a Mr. World contest, and I got ABC TV Wide World of Sports to cover it. But then I had to get the 6 top bodybuilders in the world to come in and compete. And one of whom was a young Austrian who had just come over to the United States. And I called him, told him about this, and he agreed to come to the competition. He came into the competition, and he beat Sergio Olivia. It was a great full house competition with 4,000 people. And after the event, Arnold came up to me and said, "This is the best event I have ever been in. When I am done competing, I am going to come back to Columbus, Ohio, and ask you to be my partner." And I said, "Yeah." Well, so the next 5 years, he won everything. He won the Mr. Olympia contest in 70, right on through to 75. But after the 1975 Olympia, which was held in South Africa, which was the time he made the movie Pumping Iron, he stopped on the way back from South Africa in New York and called me and said, "I would like to talk." And it's 1975, Arnold said, again, "I have been winning the Olympia now for 6 times. They're still paying me $1,000 to win the top prize in the world." He said, "I wish to professionalize this sport. I want to recognize these athletes and legitimize the activity." And he said, "I want to have next year, in the year 1976, the Olympia contest here in Columbus, Ohio, and I will get the athletes here. I will help get sponsors. You run the competition." And on a handshake in 1975, our partnership has gone now almost 50 years.
And in that 1976 Olympia,
right,
Franco Colombo was the winner.
That is correct. Franco Colombo did win in that year, and it was a great competition, a sold-out field. But that was the beginning of the partnership. And after that, every year we ran the Mr. Olympia contest several years. And then the IFBB decided, well, maybe we should put it over in Europe. So they then said, well, this year you can run, again, the Mr. Universe contest. And so every year they were suggesting a separate contest. So then in 1989, Arnold said, look, they're giving us different contests every year. Let's have a contest with my name on it, and that can't be taken away from me. And we will give the highest cash prize in the sport, and we will have a great event. So it was in 1989 that we began the Arnold Sports Festival, the Arnold Classic. And at that same time, in 89, Arnold was made chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness in Sports. And I was on that council with him. And as a result of that contact with many other sports, we were finding that other sports were coming to us and saying, we know you are running a good competition in Columbus, Ohio, in bodybuilding. Could we, martial artists, be part of your event? And then next year, could we, gymnasts, be part of your event? And so we had the space and a consequence, and we had the interest, too, in promoting other sports. So every year from 1989 forward, we gradually added new sports each year. As a consequence, over all of those intervening years, where we have developed what has become the largest multi-sport event we know of anywhere in the world. And this year, in 2019, we had 80 sports and events. Now, the Olympic Games have 30 sports events. We had 80. We had, again, 22,000 athletes, and that's 11,000 girls and 11,000 boys. The Olympic Games have 10,000 athletes, so we had double what the Olympic Games have. But also very interesting, specifically, other continents have come to us and said over the years, we like the concept of the sports festival. Could we have a Arnold Sports Festival in Australia, in Europe, in Africa, in South America. And each year, for a number of years in a row, we began with great partnership friends, highly skilled people, to have additional Arnold Sports Festivals. So now our event is on 5 continents, and each one of those other continents have events which are really of Olympic scope. All of them have, again, at least 30,000 athletes and 10 sports. So it's been a great program, and it's been a great fun. And what Arnold and I like about it is the number of young people throughout the world who are competing and learning the life lessons of sports. And again, one of them is you get back out of every aspect of life in direct proportion to what you put in. You get back in direct proportion to what you put in. And nothing teaches you that better than competitive participation in sports.
Yes, and this year you had 80 countries represented in Columbus.
That is correct. 80 countries as well as 80 different events.
Yes.
That's something that's unmatched, but that's been a gradual growth, you understand, over a period of time. And we have a great team of people. We have a tremendous physical capability here. We have a huge convention center of 1,700,000 square feet in which we had many competitive events, but also 1,000 exhibit booths, 1,000 exhibit booths in there. And that is a packed venue where we have this strongman events and 4 different competitive areas. We also have nearby a huge expo center, which has 10 large competitive buildings, another 1,800,000 square feet out there, and we move 1,500 people an hour between those 2 facilities. Yes. And so, those are, again, out there in one building, we'll have 3,500 gymnasts, another building, 2,500 martial artists, and again, a lot of cheerleaders. But there are dozens of sports that have whole buildings to themselves, in addition to a kids and teens fitness expo, which is in the largest building at the fairgrounds. And that building has special training areas around the circumference of the building. 20 different sports have professionals in each one of those, and kids coming in can move around the perimeter of the building and get training in fencing, gymnastics, whatever they're interested in. They have professional guidance there, and we have another 100 booths out at that expo. So it's been, again, 2 huge centers. In addition, in the city of Columbus, Ohio, we have many other competitive areas, like a swimming area, obviously a swimming hole separate, a track area. And so we have 10 other competitive areas in Ohio where these people compete, in addition to the 2 huge facilities, the Convention Center and the Expo Center.